Welcome back to the Pop Chart, a podcast discussing everything topping our charts in pop culture this week.
I'm Brendan Toda.
And I do solemnly swear that I am up to no good.
Also known as
Ezequiel Gutierrez.
Gutierrez.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back.
Hey.
Also, happy belated Father's Day. You're the first inaugural
Thanks.
Toda Father's Day.
It's true. I mean, like, the podcast is more about pop culture and not my son every week, but we're gonna keep the theme going for 2 episodes running at least. But thank you very much. I appreciate
we
it.
are 2 for 2. Did he get you anything?
Poopy diapers and
Nice.
empty bottles and stuff. Like, oh my gosh, the stuff you give me every day.
Yeah, great. I don't have enough of this.
No, he's a really good boy, and you can't ask for a better son. So
Very cool.
Well, I'm very
that's
happy.
First one in the books. Very nice.
In the books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, another week, another superhero movie. Today, we're going to be
every week superhero.
Like we're about to do that. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the newest movie, The Flash, that just came out this past week. And then we are going into the vault. We're opening up the vault of great ideas.
Yeah,
from the mind from the mind of Brenden and Ezequiel from the Wayback Machine.
Listen, if the Flash can go back in time to try to fix things, then why can't we go back in time and try to like resurrect an old segment that worked when we were, a little younger, a little bit lighter?
I could not agree more. This is the perfect episode for that. We're traveling
100%.
back in time, folks, and we're opening the vault of best geek vlog ever, to a time where Brenden and I were trying to be YouTubers, doing a YouTube show, not totally dissimilar from this.
Not really.
But in the same room, talking about basically the same stuff. So that segment that we always the highlight when we did those shows. You can actually still watch those episodes on YouTube.
Yeah, throw the link up in the description.
You know what? Show notes, we're gonna put it up there because I am as zero budget as it is, I am still phenomenally proud of the work that we did on that show, and I rewatched them fairly frequently because I was like, that was a good time. So we are playing a game this week called Hashtag Taglines, where Brennan and I give each other a tagline from a movie, and that person has to guess what movie it is from. In an effort, because that show was only video, this one's video and audio, we are presenting ourselves with multiple choice. So we'll do that at the end of the movie, but let's get into our main discussion today, which is The Flash.
You
know what? I'm gonna let you start.
The Flash. Okay, all right. So for our listeners, this is going to be spoiler talk. We're not going to have like a spoiler-free section. We're just going to kind of dive right into it.
Yep.
Little background if you are not familiar for some reason and somehow are listening to our show.
True.
The Flash is a character from DC. Not DC Comics, because the C in DC stands for comics.
That's right.
And this is a movie that has been in what they like to call production hell for a long time. And it kind of shows, which we'll get into in just a moment. The character, if you don't know anything, he dresses in red and he runs real fast. And, as long as the movie has that, well, you've got yourself a Flash movie. This is also loosely inspired by I believe it's 2011 comic run called Flashpoint. And at a certain point, the movie itself was called Flashpoint as well, but they also reverted on that. It's gone through many, many different filmmakers, but the star, Ezra Miller, has been at the center of it, I believe, just about the entire time since his their casting, prior to the whole start of the Justice League production cycle. So
that's right. He was cast, and they were going to have Flash before Justice League.
Yeah, there was this whole plan, which, like, if we talk about the whole history of
we would be here
movie,
for 2 hours.
But we're going to talk about the movie that's actually playing in theaters now. And so just to start with my initial
what are your initial thoughts?
I wanted to love this movie so much because not just I enjoy superhero media in general, but like the Flash is a character that I believe deserved to be on screen for a long time. And the only version in movies, at least up to this point, had been in Justice League as portrayed by Ezra Miller, which was, he kind of filled this jokey side role. Every member of the team needs to have that, but like without having established the character in a separate movie, it wasn't like, oh, we get to see the Flash with Batman and Superman. Like we getting the first impression for the first time there. And that does take a little bit away from this movie. I would say from the first minute to about maybe the 45-minute mark, I was 100% on board. And that's just kind of by virtue of here's a version of the Speed Force that you've never seen before. Here is some really good Batman stuff that you haven't seen done, or at least haven't seen in a while. But it really started to lose me once he entered into the previous timeline, and especially once he got knocked out of what they were calling the Chrono Bowl, I guess is what I heard, by a Dark Flash. It was like, oh, I see what you're doing there.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, unfortunately, it slowly, ironically, started to suck the enjoyment out of me. By the time they reached the third act climax, where I should be cheering, I was just kind of bored, unfortunately. And while again, I want to mention it again later, for some reason, even though this is like the last swan song of the Snyderverse per se, before James Gunn's regime starts coming in, even though there are two other movies that are still yet to come out, this is kind of like it. They have a post-credit scene setting up nothing, achieving nothing, and stating nothing. It's just like, hey, here's Aquaman again, and he's drunk, and you laugh, right? Being drunk is funny, yeah. It's a really bad joke told poorly is what it is. And like, the most confusing thing for me is that prior to this movie's release at CinemaCon, the film was screened, and pundits and critics and people, like influencers, I guess you could call, that I follow and trust, like Frosty and Jermaine Lucier, were raving about this movie.
Yeah.
And I had to go back prior to our recording today and look at what they said. And I don't know what they showed them at CinemaCon, because what they described is not what I saw on Monday. Let me just tell you.
It wasn't
happened?
even, dude, it wasn't even just because I did exactly the same thing. I was like, man, I remember just a couple of months ago. It wasn't just those folks who I follow the same folks. Stephen King, Tom Cruise, they all said this is the movie that we need right now.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like, okay, they have their opinions, and I also think that there's some Warner Brothers, hey, we'll break off a little bit for you to just say these things.
Yeah.
But like Tom Cruise, who had the best movie of the year last year, is saying this movie is for right now. We need this so bad. And I was like, okay, all right, Tom Cruise, you delivered last year. You're saying some stuff this year. Let's go. But I feel more lied to by James Gunn, and I'll tell you what's most frustrating is, right, these movies essentially don't matter anymore, right?
Right.
The James Gunn of it all starts pretty soon. These last few movies are just kind of probably peter out, and the box office shows that so many things went very, very wrong for this movie.
Right.
But James Gunn going out there saying this is like the best superhero movie ever made, and I'm like, didn't you just direct like a really good superhero movie? Is like him knowing people aren't going to show up for this because we're resetting everything and there's no point to it, but I'm gonna do what I can to get people in the theaters because it'll just bode well for everyone else. And I feel pretty betrayed by that, because listen, these guys work for the studio, so they're going to say that's the party line. But yeah, I feel a little bit betrayed. I do think that, I'm pretty much right there with you. Like, I really wanted to like it. All that CinemaCon stuff got me so hyped. I was like, holy crap. So much so, and this is why I think I feel more betrayed. I put this at number 2 on my summer movie wager because I thought I was going to do something interesting. I was like, Tom Cruise said to go see this movie. James Gunn said to go see this movie. And I was like, this one is going to be the Top Gun of this year. It's going to
Right.
shock people.
Right.
Well, my summer movie wager is absolutely destroyed at this point because of
Right.
that, and because I didn't think that Spider-Verse was going to be as huge as it is, so I screwed that up. But
Yeah.
yeah, I wanted to like it as well. I'm right there with kind of the timeline of things. I do want to start off by saying a few things I really did like. As much as I think that Chrono Bowl is far worse than the World Engine. Like when they said that, I was like, they did not call this thing the Chrono Bowl. I really do love the way they portray the multiverse.
Mhm.
Marvel's been doing it all. Spider-Man's been doing it with the lines and the connections and the sacred timeline and this thing.
So you like the disco ball of it all?
I do. Initially, I was so confused, but I really do like that each of these timelines, each of these multiverses look like their own world.
Sure.
And the zoetrope of it all,
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like, that is really, really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, the closer you got to it, though, I was like, oh dear, why does this look so bad? And I know Andy Muschietti has gone on to say, like, oh, that's on purpose and things
Right.
like that. Yeah, again,
Right.
he could just be saying that and be like, yeah, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, he's got to protect his movie. It makes sense.
He does. So I do like the way they present that. I don't like the name Chrono Bowl, but I literally, from the time I saw it to now, I've been trying to come up with a better name, and I really couldn't. I do like Ezra Miller as like the comic relief.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's pretty problematic outside of this.
Right.
Again, good Batman stuff. Love the Michael Keaton nostalgia aspect of it. I know they reworked a lot of this movie to include that.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that Sasha Cale, I think her name is, as
Mm-hmm.
Kara Zor-El, is really great, but I don't know that character that much. So just
Mm-hmm.
based on this one thing of Supergirl that I've ever seen, I really like her. I just like the costumes, very similar to the Henry Cavill stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to see her maybe make it through this thing into the James Gunn verse, but I don't know how that's working. So
Right.
those things I really liked. The CG in this movie is really, really
Questionable.
weird.
Really
Yeah,
questionable.
it's super questionable. One, there are moments where it's just bad.
Yeah.
The moments where it's the worst
Mm-hmm.
were the quietest moments. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we know that when the big action sequences happen, like some of that stuff you start to see the seams a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um the Social Network, you've seen it? Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
One of the greatest films maybe in the last 20 years.
Absolutely.
That movie is 13 years old and
Mm-hmm.
has a character, an actor, Armie Hammer, who is playing twins.
Right.
Right? Two actors, right? Josh Pence and Armie Hammer are there on set, and then they digitally put Armie Hammer's face on their bodies.
Right.
That is virtually seamless, right? But people are going to be like, well, that's the different kind of movie. There's no action. There's none of that stuff. Okay. The part that was the most glaringly terrible CG is when there are two Ezra Millers standing next to each other, and
Mm-hmm.
one of them is very clearly a digital double.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not understand that. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
hold on a second. You're using a completely digital character who's not even moving. They're just having this conversation. This CG should with a budget over $200 million.
Mm-hmm.
Those quiet moments where they're just talking to each other should not look like a cartoon is talking to a live action character. Like,
Right.
and in those moments, the most like introspective moments, the moments where you're like, oh wow, everything's kind of slowing down and the drama's coming out. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what is this freaking it looked so bad, and I felt bad. I
Yeah.
was just like, oh no, I just like all I could do was stare at that digital version of Barry Allen. I was like, oh, this is not good. It's not
No,
good. So
it's not. It's not.
yeah.
And I think, every film has its high points and its low points. And I think the most successful movies have way more high points than it has low points so that you can overlook and forgive the bad stuff. It's
Yeah.
usually when the quantity or like the quality, if the bad is really sticks out as bad, or if there's
Hmm.
just too much bad, that it's hard to forgive.
Yeah.
Or if there's just not enough good stuff in it. Because I think the reason I had so much fun at the beginning of the film is because that Batman stuff is great. And he calls Flash to help him out.
Hmm.
Actually, now that I say it out loud too, once he starts trying to save those babies,
Dude.
I
Oh
felt
no.
like I felt like that was maybe a little bit too far
It,
as well.
baby is getting chucked out of those buildings. I was like, okay, we know he's going to save them.
Yeah.
We know it. There's
Yeah.
no way they're gonna let even one baby get nicked by anything. So they're doing the whole like Quicksilver thing where everything's slow and he's doing everything fast. And I
Yeah.
do like the, oh, I'm out of calories, I need to eat something. That's
Hmm.
kind of interesting because of his energy consumption.
Right.
But the second that you see it coming, I was like, are they really doing this? Like this? Like, oh no,
And you
it's
want
not
to talk
good.
about bad CG? It looks
So bad.
like I'm telling myself at the time because it's very early in the movie. Pretend they're real babies. Pretend they're real babies. Pretend they're real babies. Just forget it. The real babies. No, can't do it.
No, can't.
Can't do it. Can't do
I
it.
couldn't. I couldn't suspend the
I can't
disbelief. I'm
do
sorry.
it.
I know that's what
He's
you want me to do, director, and I'm trying to do it the right way,
I'm
but
really
can't
giving you
do
the
it.
benefit of the doubt here, but you gotta do me a solid, a
Meet
little
me
bit better.
halfway. It's not
Yeah,
even halfway, dude.
you stuffed one of them in the
A
microwave.
microwave.
Oh God. Am I supposed
Yeah,
to be laughing at that? Because I didn't. I was
yeah.
like,
I'm not even a father, so I
whoa.
can't even imagine stuffing a baby in a microwave. But I was like,
Yeah.
no, no, this is
This is
not a good.
yeah.
These are not good choices, and I just
Yeah.
feel like, yes, we talked a little bit about the marathon. I know we've had a lot of running uh
Pun intended.
puns. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um this movie was a literal marathon to get to this point,
Right.
and it just feels like it exchanged so many hands,
Yeah.
so much. There's so many ideas being presented here.
Hmm.
It feels a little disjointed, like just too many balls in the air trying to juggle them, and some of
Right.
those balls fall and some of them land. Like there are good things about this movie. um I just think the things that they really want us to like were just hard to do.
Right.
Yeah, I just and like I was looking at their, like, who wrote the movie, right?
Hmm.
And I know that John Francis Daley has a story credit. He wasn't the screenwriter, but
Hmm.
John Francis Daley is like quickly becoming like someone that I'm really interested in. John Francis Daley, initially an actor of Freaks and Geeks fame, has gone
Hmm.
on to like do really interesting things, writing Horrible Bosses, directing Game Night, which is so good. And then even this year he's having a good year. I really like Dungeons and Dragons.
Hmm.
I think that that's a really fun movie. He's got a story by credit, but the screenwriting credit is what's her name? Christina Hodson,
Hmm.
who did Bumblebee, like a movie that I unabashedly think is the best Transformers movie.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, well, those two in the mix seem like a good thing here. And I just think, I don't know if it's going to come out like in years past where like none of those people are going to be like, listen, it got reworked a trillion times. We were just trying to salvage what we could of what
Yeah.
was left of this film. So
That's
like,
what it
I don't
feels
even, I
like.
don't even like fault them for that. Like, there's
Right.
just too much stuff going on here. Obviously, Ezra Miller couldn't promote this movie at all because he's, a bit problematic in the legal
Yeah.
world. So
Yeah.
yeah, just again, I
What a
think some of that,
bummer.
I think some of that stuff I felt going into it being like, okay, this has been a tough road. At least this movie should be really good, and that will salvage some of it. And I
Yeah.
walked out just kind of like, damn, damn, I really wanted to like that one.
Yeah. I think the fact, I mean, credit where credit's due, Andy Muschietti made a coherent film. It may not be the most, emotionally enriching or like the most it doesn't hit the highest peaks, but like you can at least you tell that there's a story there, and it's
Yeah.
entirely possible that by the time he boarded the film, they're just like, well, we've been working on this fallen babies sequence for like
Oh, listen,
a
dude, we're
year and a
halfway through.
half.
We're just trying to figure out what to put
Like,
the baby in. Is it going to be a refrigerator or an oven? Microwave. We're going micro. Yeah, it could have been at that point already.
like we've spent the money, man. I mean, you might as
Yeah.
well just take
Strap
it.
in, my guy. Strap in.
So, props to him. Yeah, the Keaton Batman stuff is very good, even if he doesn't feel like the
Yeah.
Burton Batman. It's just the same actor playing Batman again.
Mhm.
And I will say that hearing all of the, again, scuttlebutt before it opened up, I expected there to be way more cameos than what are actually in this film.
Yeah.
I thought I was like, I feel like we have a chance that Christian Bale might actually show up here.
For sure. I was fully expecting Bale or even Pattinson.
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
something,
they're going to get one of these guys.
or something completely out of left field, but they don't, with the exception of George Clooney as a punchline.
Full on.
So like, again, cool. I didn't see that coming, but I thought they were going to do way more. And I'd be remiss before we end the segment to like not mention the CGI resurrect Helen Slater, Christopher Reeve,
Mm.
Adam West, and
My favorite one. As terrible as all, again, everything in those chronodomes looks terrible, but
the
Nicolas Cage.
unproduced Nicolas Cage Superman. As soon as I saw it fighting a giant spider, I went,
Yeah,
this
I
is the
saw the
story that
spider.
kept. This
Yes,
is
the
the story
Kevin
that Kevin
Smith came
Smith
right
told.
in.
they
They
I
did
felt
it.
like,
It's
yeah,
there.
yeah, for you crazy bastards, you've done it.
You crazy bastards, you did it. And he looked, again, he looked like all the stuff we've heard about that movie, the John Peters of it all, the part that Kevin Smith played in getting that.
A giant spider, like, it has
I
to.
will tell you, I would love to see that movie now. Like watching him fight that giant spider, Nicolas Cage as Superman fighting the spider. I was like, I would watch more of that. That it is what it is. I was excited to see that. That one got me. I was like, this is not happening.
Exactly. And it got me too. And after walking out of the movie theater, I have to say that this seems like, to me, the almost memification of
Yes.
cinema. Like, the internet, you've done this to us. Like, there's no going back. There's we've passed, what do you call it, the event horizon. Yeah. Where if it's discussed online, the studio will hear about it and figure out some way to do it.
Ooh, yeah. Well, good point.
I can't believe that this is the reality that we're living in now, but
yeah,
here we are. So holy cow, they've actually done it. There's a Nicolas Cage Superman in celluloid, digital celluloid,
very digital,
fighting a freaking spider. Like,
John
no
Peters
way.
is happy as a clam right now. So good.
He's speaking of memes, he's that Leonardo DiCaprio, like,
oh, there I am.
They did the spider thing.
100%. Love it. Good stuff. Well, yeah, it does have a happy ending for Andy Muschietti. He
potentially.
Well, yeah, it sounds like he's directing The Brave and the Bold for James Gunn's new DCEU. James Gunn announced that like in the last couple of days. The Brave and the Bold, which is a storyline I love. I mean, we're both obviously huge Batman fans.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I would have no idea.
No idea. I can't really see it.
I think he's over here somewhere down here.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting because I do think he is a good filmmaker. I really love the It movies. So I think he's solid, absolutely solid. And I think he did the best he could with the putting kind of some puzzle pieces that maybe didn't fit together to make something.
This doesn't seem like it's his fault.
Yeah. So, overall serviceable film. I wouldn't tell you to run out and go see it. I don't think it's the movie we need right now, Tom Cruise. I hate to disagree with you.
What will Tom think?
I know he's gonna be so disappointed that I said that. But
Yeah.
overall, again, this is the tail end of the Snyderverse stuff, and I think, you know, Warner Brothers doesn't have a choice but to release these things, even though after this, I think they know that Aquaman may perform pretty good because Jason Momoa is great, and I really like the first Aquaman. I think there's something to be said about a sequel to this. And then the Blue Beetle is the last one, which was uh
What a
it's
bummer
like
again.
collateral damage because
Yeah.
I was very much looking forward to that. I did read Blue Beetle for a little bit, and for me as someone who's just like representation is so important to
Hmm.
be getting this character, this Latino character, Mexican played by a Mexican kid.
Hmm.
That was exciting for me, and to now kind of be looking ahead and going, well, kids, sorry about that. This is all you're gonna get, and then you're probably gonna be out of here. So
Probably James Gunn has said that Blue Beetle is the first DCU character, so it is possible that they keep him on depending on how it does. I'm
I
assuming,
hope
but I
we gotta
do
go out
think
there and
that
see that one, man.
yeah, I do think that the most likely situation should be anybody who was in these previously is just out. Um,
Wipe the slate clean.
yeah, because like to make a perhaps unfair comparison, I was having a conversation recently about the Star Wars movies, um, and like how they don't connect with my wife. Like she's all about the Marvel stuff. She's down to see any of the DC stuff. She actually really liked this, which
Oh, good. I mean, good.
yeah,
That's great.
exactly. That's
Love it.
good. But like she has no interest in Star Wars,
Yep.
partially because of where it's at right now, but also it's kind of hard to follow because you have to like have seen and have committed to memory many like episodes and TV shows and cartoons to go,
Right.
okay, so here's where this new one fits in.
Oh gosh,
They're
it's so
not
much. It's
going
homework.
yeah, they're not going in order, going like every time you see something, it's moving the story forward. It's jumping all over the place. And I do think that's preventing her from connecting with the material. I
I could
still
see that.
enjoy the Star Wars stuff, but I wish I could like it more. And it's
Hmm.
kind of the same thing with this DCU stuff, right? Like if we are going to move forward, if you're going to have to go, well, how come Aquaman is playing Lobo now?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. Oh yeah.
like
Oh god.
like it's the same Wonder Woman, then how come Batman's different? And I
Hmm.
didn't see the Flash. Do I need to see the Flash? Like,
Sure.
is everything different because of that? Like, I think the best thing is just cut your losses, move forward,
Yep.
start something new. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, sounds like that's what they're gonna do. Probably the smart move after all this. So
Yep,
those
we'll
are our
probably be
thoughts.
talking.
Any last final thoughts?
No, I just feel like we'll be like I'm looking forward to talking about Superman Legacy.
Yeah.
What do they call it?
Yeah.
When that
Superman
comes
Legacy
out on the podcast when that happens
for
in
sure.
2025, I think is what they
5.
said. Yeah.
Yep. We
Hmm.
got a little bit of time. A little bit of time. All right. Well, those are our thoughts on the Flash. Now it's time for a segment we call hashtag taglines.
That's
Right.
right.
So Brendan and
I
I
don't have a
have
theme song for it yet.
no,
We got to
yeah.
find like a theme
I
song.
think we used to. I think we used to have a little jingle or whatever.
Hashtag taglines, hashtag taglines. Guess the movie. I don't know why I didn't that just now.
It's fine. There it is. There's the jingle. Um, so hashtag taglines. We have each chosen 5 movies,
Hmm.
and this week's theme is pretty broad. We've just chosen films from the last 5 years. Usually
Yeah,
there's a theme, but I think we're over the superhero thing right now, so we weren't going to do superhero stuff. So 5 movies within the last 5 years. We're going to each tell the other person that movie's tagline, and they have to guess what movie it's from.
yeah.
So
And for those who don't know, taglines are usually like that catchy little phrase at the bottom of movie posters, typically, or like
65 million years in the making, Jurassic Park.
see, yep, excellent example. We're gonna have to use it every time we play this game, so people know what the deal is.
Yeah.
Ooh, signed out.
Who,
Pause.
who
That's
signed you
weird.
out?
Oh, I just said that you've been signed out of Zoom. So if the meeting stops, then we'll have to edit this. But
That should be
let's just
good.
keep going. Coin flip. Would you like to go first? Would you like to go second?
Uh, I don't have a. Oh, I have a. I don't have a coin, but I have a SD. Okay. So
That's
the
the
one
nerdiest thing you've ever done. Not
that's
flip a coin.
heads, that's tails. Here we go.
I will say heads.
It's heads.
It's heads. I'll read mine first because
Okay,
I've prepared the multiple choices. Are you
that's
ready?
right. I'm ready. Here we go.
All right. So there are multiple taglines for each of these movies. I'll read one and then the choices. If you can't get it, or if you'd like a hint, I'll read the other
Oh, you are
tagline.
really prepared. I got one tagline, one movie, and I'm just gonna. Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
Fair enough. All right. The first one is a Marvel legend will rise. A Marvel legend will rise. Is that Morbius, Black Panther, Venom, or Shang-Chi?
My gut reaction was Shang-Chi.
That's correct. 1 point for
Yes.
easy.
All right.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
So good. I love that movie so much.
The other tagline, by the way, was witness the origin of a new MCU superhero. So I
Wow,
figured
they did not.
they didn't put a whole lot of effort in that
Not
one, if
at
you ask me.
all. Literally, none of those two are very good. Come on. Something
All
about
right.
destiny or some faith.
I
I
know,
don't know.
right? Like,
Come on, guys. Okay.
all right. Number 2. Imagine what he could become. Imagine what he could become. Is that Super, Brightburn, Black Adam, or Split?
Oh man, those are all such good movies.
Would you like one of the other taglines?
Yes, I
Evil
think
has
I have an idea, but let me get a little hint.
no problem. Evil has found its superhero. And again, your choices are Super, Brightburn, Black Adam, or Split.
I am going to go with Brightburn.
That is correct. It is
Yes.
Brightburn.
All right, cool.
All right. Number 3. They come in pieces. They come in
Oh, I almost
pieces.
wanted to just like flex and tell you what it was without the multiple choice, but
Mm.
I need
No,
to
yeah. I
have
mean
options.
that's part of this anyway. Is that the Lego movie? The Lego movie 2? The Lego Batman
Batman.
movie? Or the Lego Ninjago movie?
Come on. I feel like they come in pieces.
Yeah.
Only fits for the one that I haven't seen because it doesn't make sense in the other one. So I'm gonna go with Ninjago.
It's actually the Lego movie 2.
Oh, the second one?
The
Okay.
second one. The other taglines are the universe is expanding and you're awesome.
Oh yeah, that would have been the giveaway for sure.
Yeah. The
All right.
the last one actually is everything is awesome in space. So that
Oh,
one I was like, I'm not even
okay.
gonna read that one. That one just kind of gives it away.
I don't think I saw the Lego movie too.
All right. Number 4. A Ryan Johnson whodunit. Is that The Last Jedi? Knives Out? Glass Onion? Or Looper?
Knives Out, first one.
It's actually Glass Onion.
You what?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
you're right. Why
it's
would they?
banking. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's no
come
other
on.
tagline for it. It's based off of like the first.
I was too cocky.
You
Because
were
I know
you were
it is a Ryan Johnson who done it, but they would never have advertised a Ryan Johnson who done it for the
for the
first
first
movie
one. Mm-hmm.
because he hadn't established. Damn it. Okay,
Yeah.
just let's forget it. Let's forget about it.
So far, two out of 4. Not
All
too
right.
bad.
No, but I got to do better than. I got to get this last one.
Hey, you know what?
The
You're just
winning
making
record.
me.
I have
you,
to have the winning record here.
yeah, I suppose. All right, the last one. One will fall. One will fall. Is that Godzilla versus Kong? Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice?
Oh,
Independence Day: Resurgence? Or Terminator: Dark Fate?
one will fall.
One will fall. I'll tell you the other one if you want, but it doesn't really help.
Yeah, let me hear it anyways.
Our fate, their fight.
Got it. The monsters.
Godzilla versus Kong.
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay, that tagline is a bullshit lie. The first one will fall.
Yeah, because
none of them fall.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah,
just like,
I seen it. Spoilers.
I'm
Sorry.
out.
Yeah, they're making another one.
Liars. Bunch of
Yeah,
liars.
and now they're friends.
Now they're buddies. Let's go on adventures together.
Well done, Easy. You
All
got
right.
3 out of 5. That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
All right. I'll take it. I'll take it. All right. So, unlike you, I'm not as prepared. I just don't have the multiple choices, so I'm gonna kind of wing that. But I have the taglines and I have the movies.
Just make sure you don't say the movie it actually is first every time, because then I'll know.
True. That's true. That's true. I'm like, wait, was that? I would probably have done that. I shouldn't
have said anything.
Yeah, I chose one movie from each of the past 5 years. So I don't know if that'll make it easier or harder. Should I tell you what year it came out? No, I'm not gonna do it.
No, you don't have to.
That's too easy. That's too easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready?
I am.
This tagline is act like you own the place.
Act like
you own the place. Is that The Irishman, Parasite, Missing Link? Did you give me 4 or 3?
4. But I know it's not the last one, so don't even say anything.
Okay, yeah. So those
Irishman,
are your options: Missing
Irishman,
Link,
Parasite, or
Irishman,
Missing Link,
and Parasite. I do have a subsequent one for this one though. If that one, so act like you own the place.
Give me the second tagline, please.
It's hard to find good help these days.
Ooh, that didn't help. That actually made it more complicated. I'm gonna go with The Irishman.
It's actually Parasite.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The tagline for Irishman is "His story changed history."
That boring.
So Parasite. Okay, so here's act like you own the place is the tagline.
Sure.
Somebody else came up with.
And
it caught on during the Parasite time was it's hard to find good help these days.
Interesting. So it's kind of like a viral tagline.
Yeah. So and just so you know, I'm getting all my taglines from the wonderful app called Letterbox, where I track all my movies, and they have it just right there on each of them. So it was very easy.
I need to start do that because I had to get mine from IMDb, and it's like down there.
Oh no, it's right there. Okay. Awesome. Moving on. Here we go.
Yes.
There's a little magic in all of us.
Ooh.
Almost all of us.
Uh-oh. I think I've heard of this one, but now I'm going to get it wrong.
There's a little magic in all of us. Almost all of us. Is that from Derek Delgadillo's In and of Itself, Encanto, King Richard, or The Mitchells versus the Machines?
All right, I really don't think it's King Richard, but I'm gonna.
I don't know if Venus Williams was magic.
Those hands are magic. I feel like it's Encanto or the last one that you said, Mitchell's. There's a little magic in all of us. No, that has to be Encanto because Maribel doesn't have a special gift. I'm gonna say it's Encanto.
Final answer, Encanto is correct. Answer. Yes, sir.
I'm on the board. I'm on the board. I'm not out of the game yet.
No, sir. No, sir, you are not. All right. Are you ready for this next one?
Yes. And apparently we don't overlap any of the movies, huh?
We have not. We have not. We chose separate movies.
Fantastic.
Good stuff. Here we go. When the game ends, the mystery begins. When the game ends, the mystery begins.
Okay. But it's from the last 5 years. I was like, it's not Clue.
No. When the game ends, the mystery begins.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it Black Phone, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Glass Onion, or Chippendale Rescue Rangers? When the game ends, the mystery begins.
So Glass Onion was one of the ones I gave you. So I know it's not that.
Well,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I looked up Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it didn't have a
doesn't
tagline.
that
Like, at least on IMDb, it doesn't list any
yeah, so
taglines for
okay,
that.
so for
So
the
it's either
future of
Chippendale
so for the
or
okay. For the future, the rest of these things have to be from the same source because I think we're
yeah.
gonna get some that don't exist on IMDb. We'll just say everything has to come from
I
Letterboxd
agree that yeah. So
because this is kind of not accurate.
mm, gotcha. Okay.
So no, if I tell you that, it'll give away. I'll tell you that it's not Chippendale
So then that only
because
leaves
you said you looked up everyone from that movie.
uh-huh. I looked up no, I looked up Everything Everywhere All at Once,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't see any taglines, but you're telling me that that's the tagline?
It isn't.
Or okay,
I'm
all
gonna come
right.
up with another one. We're gonna
That,
come up with another one.
that's fine. But what was it? Was it
When the
Glass
game
Onion?
ends, the mystery begins is Glass Onion's tagline according
Yeah,
to
that
Letterboxd.
totally didn't come up on mine because I was like, that makes sense, but I looked it up and I didn't see that one. Okay,
Okay, we're gonna. Well,
we'll call
I'm
that
so
a
you know what I did
mulligan.
prepare for? I
Hmm.
have 6, so we're good. That's the Glass Onion one. Okay,
All
so
right.
let's move on to another one.
Mm-hmm.
Rise, roar, revolt. Rise,
Please
roar,
roar, revolt.
revolt. Is that from Wakanda Forever? Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Uh-huh.
Is it from Uncharted,
Uh-huh.
Jurassic World,
Uh-huh.
or RRR?
Oh, RRR because it's rise, what was it?
Roar,
Roar,
Revolt.
revolt, and that's RRR.
Correct. Yeah.
Boom. All
Did
right,
you
I
have
can
you seen that movie? Holy
no.
smokes, Brenden!
I know. I'm
You
aware.
need
I'm
to see.
aware.
You need to
I
see that movie.
I have watched Patrick Willem's entire video on it and not seen the actual thing because I'm just like,
It's
that thing
somewhat
looks
of a
crazy.
masterpiece. It's
Yeah,
it's
that thing
incredible.
looks
It's incredible.
crazy. What is
Okay,
that? Okay.
so you
Okay, so
have
I have
RRR.
two.
You have 2. You're 2 for 3, right? You've
You
only
have
gotten
three
3.
total, yes. So I have a
Okay.
chance to tie you, but I don't have a chance to beat you. Do I? Oh no, that
No,
was my
we've
third one.
only done 3.
Because
So
because of
you
the
because of the glass
glass
onion
onion
mistake.
thing.
All right, here we go. Here's a tagline for this film. It's
Okay.
called Return to the Source. Return to the Source.
Okay. What are
Okay,
my
you ready for it?
options? Yes.
Your options are Eternals, The Suicide Squad, The Matrix Resurrections,
Mm-hmm.
Zack Snyder's Justice League. Return to the Source.
You know, the first thing that I thought of when you said that was a Matrix film, and I just was not sure which one it is. So I'll go with Resurrections.
Yes, 2021's Matrix Resurrection is Return to the Source.
Boom.
Nice.
You know, in fairness, it's a movie.
That was also a movie. Yeah,
Was a movie.
sure was.
Did not like it.
Not so great.
Yeah.
Not so great.
Another movie I really wanted to like, but
Yeah, when I
yeah.
was looking at these and I saw how low I had Matrix Resurrections, I was like, oh yeah, I wasn't
Yeah, it wasn't
thrilled
feeling
with
that
that
one.
one, was I? Okay.
Yeah.
All
Moving
right.
on. All right,
Well,
so
you've
for the
you've
win
got me.
here.
You've got me on this, right? You've already got. Oh no, you're 3, so
No,
you have
three.
to
I have
get this
three.
one.
I have to get this one for the
Oh,
win, or we tie.
okay. Let me. I have the tagline. I just want to get some other movies
Sure.
here. For your options. All right.
Sure. You're really doing real good for improvising, by the way, of the other choices. Because
Listen,
I'm like,
luckily for me, there's a whole bunch of movies right here that I just hopefully nail. I mixed up on the magic one. I was like, oh, those were all terrible choices. Okay, last one.
yeah.
Music was his world, then silence revealed a new one. Music was his world, then silence revealed a new one.
Okay.
Is it Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Tenet, Another Round, Sound of Metal?
I don't know 3 of those movies.
Oh,
but
shoot.
yeah, and it has to be the last 5 years because I was like, that's Mr. Holland's Opus. No, it's not.
Nope.
That didn't come out in the
That's
last 5 years.
This was just right at the cusp. This was a 2019 release. So, Sound of Metal.
Again? Sound of Metal.
Another round. What did I say? Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Or something else. Which
and something else, which it
something else, yeah. Since the only one that has sound in the title is Sound of Metal, even though I have no idea what those movies are or what they're about, I'm going to go with that, Sound of Metal.
You got it, sir. You know the powers of deduction. Congratulations on winning this first round of Hashtag Taglines. Yeah, it's Sound of Metal. Highly, highly recommend that movie. It's about a musician who ends up going deaf. Really great film.
So kind of like Mr. Holland's Opus. It's just, that one, it's his kid who's deaf.
That's true. Yeah. Very similar. Riz Ahmed, amazing in that movie.
Oh, wow. Riz Ahmed, cool.
Oh, man, he's crushes it. He's so good. And that's how you do it, kids.
That's how you do it.
Hashtag Taglines right there. I promise on the next one, I will absolutely 100% be more prepared for you. Thank you for bringing it. Thanks for bringing it.
You know me.
The Brenden of Best Geek Vlog Ever would be so proud of himself right now.
Patting myself on the back through time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, that's it for this episode of the Pop Chart. You can find us on Apple Music, on Amazon Music, and on Spotify.
Holy snap, we pay for all those, do we?
No, you know what's beautiful? You don't have to pay to make that to put them on those sources. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, we're giving them free money then, aren't
we?
Yeah,
it's free advertisement for their services. You're welcome. Because all our viewers are going on one and listeners are going to be subscribing. So yeah, you can find us on all the major podcasting and audio things.
That's right. We've got your mom, my mom, your wife, my wife.
Bro.
People.
Cynthia was like, listen, she loves Hashtag Taglines. So she was like, I'll listen or watch if you do a Hashtag Taglines. I was like, perfect. Episode 2. Here we go. Let's get some eyes on this thing. We'll be back here next week, likely talking about Marvel's new Disney Plus show Secret Invasion.
100%.
And then who knows what else next week. We'll have a plan next week. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't show them behind the curtain too much. Here's a little peek. Nope, that's it.
Yeah, so you can expect our thoughts on that new Disney show. Until then, thanks for joining us. This is the Pop Chart.
See you next week.